Hi, I'm Hazel, and today I'm breaking down everything you need to know about Titan Essences. This is the new Azurite progression system coming in 8.2. If you've not been a fan of Azurite so far this expansion, this is still Azurite, but it is a wildly different take on it. So there is still Azerite Gear in 8.2, but when you get a new head or shoulders or chest piece, instead of having to wait to unlock all of the traits, you'll have access to all of them right away, so you can get your new gear, make your choices, and you're good. There will still be new Azurite traits in 8.2, they're not completely ditching that system, you'll just be able to use them right away. So your new traits are just ready to go, and that begs the question of, well, why do you want Azurite? So as you gain Azurite levels in 8.2, instead of unlocking access to new rings on gear, instead, you're going to be unlocking slots on your neck piece. There are 3 slots in total. The first one is a major slot, and that one is unlocked for free by default. You don't need to level up for that one. You will have it immediately on your Heart of Azeroth as soon as 8.2 drops. Level your Heart of Azeroth some more, and you'll unlock a second slot that's a smaller one, and then level it even further, and at some point down the road, probably like mid 8.2 cycle is when you're like projected to get this level of Azurite, you will unlock your third and final slot, which is another one of those small ones. At certain levels in between those major slot unlocks, you will also unlock small upgrades to your health. So you've got 3 slots to fill, and this is where Titan Essences come in. A Titan Essence is kind of like a cross between a talent and a relic. Each essence has a major effect, which is almost always an active ability, and then a minor effect, which is a passive. When you put an essence into that big slot, you will get both the major and the minor effect. If you put that same essence into the smaller slot, you will only get the minor effect. You can only put an essence into one of those 3 slots, so down the road when you have all 3 slots unlocked, you'll be choosing 3 essences to use. The thing that sets these apart from talents and what we had with Legion artifacts is that Titan Essences are not tied to your class. Everyone is using the same essences, and for the most part, they do the same thing for everybody, mostly. There are a few exceptions to that. The active abilities are generally Azurite and Titan themed, so you've got like your Azurite Beam, your Azurite Laser, your Azurite like targeted AoE, your Azurite like poof on you AoE, that kind of thing. Like I said, there are some exceptions. There was one Titan Essence that would reduce the cooldown of one of your major cooldowns. So for Paladins, for example, that was their Wings cooldown, but it would reduce a different cooldown depending on what class you're playing, but everybody can still get it, and it will do that kind of thing for everyone, if that makes sense. There were also role-specific effects. So a Titan Essence might have a healing spec version and a tank spec version and a DPS spec version. So for an example Titan Essence that I got to try out, the active ability was a Purifying Blast. So that was a targeted ground reticle AoE. It was on a 1-minute cooldown. You slap it down over whatever trash pack you're working on and it does some damage. For the passive effect, my abilities had a chance to release an extra blast of damage to a random target within 8 yards of my target. If that's in your major slot, you get both. If it's in your minor slot, you only get the second one, and again, you cannot stack them. The next question is, where do you get Titan Essences? So they come from all kinds of different activity. You can get them from rep, from dungeons, from raids, from PvP. And the really nice thing about this is that each one has a set activity source. So if there's one that you really need, then you know exactly what it is that you need to do in order to get that one essence. Once you've earned an essence, you have access to it forever. You cannot lose it. You cannot destroy it. You cannot accidentally vendor it. That is yours now. And you can change them in and out like talents. So there is no respec fee. They are not destroyed when you change them. It is like a talent. You go to a rested area or pop a tome, and then you can switch them out as many times as you like. The next thing to know about Titan Essences is that they have ranks. The first rank will be from an easier and very accessible version of the activity that essence is from. For example, if it's a raid essence, you'll get rank 1 out of LFR, and then rank 2 would be from normal, rank 3 would be from heroic, and then if you do mythic, then you can get the legendary rank. So ranks of a Titan Essence are not just number tune-ups. They're not just stronger versions of the same thing. They actually add additional effects. So if we return to the Purifying Blast example, at rank 2, that AoE will stun any aberrations, and at rank 3, if it kills an enemy, you will get a 10% damage buff for 8 seconds. The minor bonuses on essences will also gain new effects as you rank them up. You do not need to collect them in order, so if you get the rank 3 version of a Titan Essence first, you do not need to go back and collect 1 and 2, and when you get rank 4, that's not actually an extra effect, but rank 4 is the legendary rank, and that adds an extra cosmetic effect to the active ability, so that Azurite Explosion might be like a super wild fireworksy Azurite Explosion, so that everybody knows that you did something really challenging to earn that legendary rank. That 4th legendary rank of an essence is going to be from the most challenging version of the content it offers. So if it's from a raid, that's going to be from mythic. If it's from arena, it'll be from very high rating. If it's from rep, that'll be like a random drop from the Paragon cache. So not all of them are going to be hard, but the ones that aren't hard are still going to require a lot of time, persistence, and perhaps some luck. So overall, to kind of sum it up, Titan Essences are much closer to a new talent choice than they are to our current version of Azurite Gear. There are options to choose from. Each one has a very clear path that you need to take in order to get it, so you know exactly what you need to do. It should give you things to search for and work towards, and let you customize the way you play your character in different situations. I'm personally really excited about this system, but my one concern is that all essences will work in all activities. So if you get a PvP essence, that'll work in raids, and vice versa. So my concern is that maybe on a PvP character, if my very best essence comes from raiding, and it's maybe like the rank 3 one from a heroic raiding on a character that I never planned to raid on, you may feel yourself being sort of encouraged to do activities that you had not planned to do on a given character. The same could be true in reverse. For example, maybe as a raider, one of your better traits is from PvP. We discussed this at length with the devs. They are aware of it, and the gist of what they said is that the first rank is going to be very accessible. So if you just need the active ability, you shouldn't need to do anything too crazy hard in another activity in order to get it. It should be pretty easy to get your hands on rank 1. And secondly, they're okay with encouraging you to try activities that you may not have dabbled with before. As long as they haven't really bungled the tuning on these, the average player should be perfectly effective with whatever traits they're able to get their hands on, and it's mostly just like the cutting edge people that were going to do anything that they could anyways, that might feel the need to go hard enough to get the rank 3 version of an essence from an activity they didn't plan to do. The other thing they said is that if one essence has an ability that is just wildly better for a specific type of content, to wherever possible make that available from that kind of content or like something adjacent, so that something that's just like clearly designed for mythic raiding isn't from endgame arena, if that makes sense. They're aware of it, they're not trying to ruin your life, but this is just the way the system works. So those are Titan Essences. The system is pretty far along in development and will be ready for you to test out on the PTR starting next week. So if you want to test it out, it'll be on the PTR starting next week. That's free, anybody can do it. And the reason why they have the system ready so early is because they really want time for people to play it and see how it feels and give feedback that they can iterate on before it just goes live. Like some systems in the past, Azurite armor on the BFA beta was implemented really late is an example of that, so it feels like they're learning from that experience. So test it out, decide how you feel based on the way that it plays for you and the things that you like to do. They want perspectives from all kinds of different players, so let them know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day.